Hello everyone, welcome back again to the channel. You guys, welcome back. So today's video is just going to be about this transformation. If you want to see how we transformed this a beautiful gorgeous model from this to this, just continue to watch.
I went from Helly Hansen to many mansions. The girls in the Aruba doing belly dancing. Spent half of my advancing jars from brain
Or removing hairs around the part of the brow using a blade. Next, I'm going to be using this spray on her face. And to moisturize, I use this particular moisturizer, but she complained about the moisturizer, so I don't think I recommend this moisturizer for sensitive skin. She was actually complaining about this moisturizer, that it was itching her face. See how the brush is making the application look very simple, and like I don't get to do so much. It just blends easily.
Baby, calm down, calm down.
Alright, for primer, I'm using this primer for her face, this Pond's primer for her face, just around where she tends to sweat the most. So I'm applying it with my hands, also like spreading the product all over her face using this brush to do so. And for foundation, I'm using this Huda Beauty foundation. The application first, I'm using a brush to apply the foundation, and then moving on to using a blending sponge to just blend everything, blend the foundation all over her face. Shade of foundation to contour her face. So yeah, I'm applying it first with a brush, like the way I applied the foundation initially, the first foundation I applied on her face. So I'm applying it with a brush first, and then use the blending sponge to just blend it like so. So I'm going to be applying it on her cheeks and also on her forehead, so that the foundation can just, everything can just blend and look natural. So what I like to do first is for powder application, what I like to do first is to set the under eyes or her under eyes with a small brush like so. So I'm going to be using like a pressed powder to set it first before I go ahead to use a loose powder, which is my normal product that I like to use, which is a Sacha Buttercup. Before the application of the powder, I'm using a concealer, LA Girl concealer in cream beige underneath her eyes first. Then to set it, I'm going to be using a pressed powder to set the place set underneath her eyes before I go ahead to use a loose powder. So the pressed powder I applied very light, and then the loose powder also very light, just on that part of her face. So for the rest part, or the remaining part of her face, I'm going to be setting everything with a pressed powder. So I'm not going to be using a loose powder to set this time. It's just a pressed powder, and I will set all over down to almost her neck. And then for the part where I contoured initially, I'm using a dark pressed powder to set it as well. Also go ahead to contour. A blush, I'm using a brush to apply blush on her face, and this is the blush I'm using, you guys. So yeah, I'm just applying it like so. For her brows, I'm just brushing it upwards using an edge control together with the brush to just brush the hair or the eyebrows upwards. And after that, we'll just go ahead to use a tissue paper to just damp, just so that it can reduce the oil on that part of her face, that's the brow part. after dapping it on her face, that's on her brows, the both side of her brows, I'm just going to go ahead to use this blending sponge to apply the loose powder on that part of her face. And as I'm applying, I'm also blending it as well.
Finally,
So for the brows, I'm just going to allow you guys watch to see what I am doing on her brows. I'm using it on the brows, underneath the brows, to just define the brows, to make it pop more. So, and I'm using it with an angle brush. I'm applying the concealer with an angle brush like so. After application, like just follow the lines of the brows and then spread and blend it. You guys just watch to see what I am doing.
get down, oh,
For the top part of her brows, I'm using the shade of her foundation to just define that part, just to make it look neat like so. And I'm also using it I'm applying with the angle brush I used in the application of the concealer initially underneath her brows. Hope you guys get what I am saying. So what I did to this part of her brows, I'm going to be doing it on the other part of her brows as well. Alright, for the eyeshadow, I'm just going to allow you guys watch, but before then, the first application or the first thing I'm doing is just to use an eyeshadow primer first. So yeah, from this part now, I'm going to allow you guys watch to see what to the end. Hope you enjoyed the video and hope you're able to learn something from this video. Thank you, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Do not forget to subscribe, give the video a big thumbs up, leave a comment. If you have any question, just let me know in the comment section as well. If you have any video suggestions, just let me know as well in the comment section below. And yeah, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Stay blessed. Bye.